Stand Up. Originally written by popsclique. Kirishima was just walking around the halls with Kaminari after school when his ears perked up at a familiar name.
Did you hear? Traveler beat the hell out of this one general course kid.
Really? Wow, that's so unlike them.
Yeah, I heard they're in the teacher's lounge talking with Eraserhead.
Kirishima turned to Kaminari, who just gave him a
"Go get your unusually aggressive partner"
look. He immediately ran down the hallway towards the teacher's lounge, just in time to see you being escorted out by Aizawa.
Kirishima, take Traveler to the dorms. They're on house arrest,
Aizawa instructed once he caught his eye on Kirishima's distressed figure. You looked awful. Purple and blue bruises adorned your face and your arms. Dried blood sat on your lower lip. Bandages scattered all over your forearms, but what distressed Kirishima the most was the very noticeable frown sitting on your face. After Kirishima walked you to the dorms and waited outside for you to change, he sat on your bed, patting the spot beside him. You raised an eyebrow before reluctantly taking the seat.
So,
Kirishima started. So? You replied.
Oh, why did you get into a fight? That didn't seem like you at all. Are you alright?
He asked, concerned evident in his tone. You forced yourself to look away from his piercing gaze, waiting a few seconds before answering his question. Well, Monoma was talking bad about you, and then he roped a general course student into the whole thing. I couldn't just stand by and watch it happen. I mean, I'd gladly beat him up or anyone else up for you again, Kiri. You ranted, throwing your hands up in the air before turning back to face Kirishima. His face held a soft smile. Your shyness amused him. It was like you didn't even beat another student into the ground a mere hour ago. He lifted his arm and wrapped it around your shoulders, bringing your face into his neck.
I appreciate the concern, but you really shouldn't get into fights, especially with another student,
he said. You huffed at the statement before burying yourself further into his neck, feeling comforted by his warmth. Yeah, whatever. Can we just watch a movie now? You said, obviously not liking the way he was lecturing you. Kirishima let out a soft chuckle before pecking you softly on the forehead.
Whatever you say, Traveler.
Bakugou was calmly walking down the hallway after the lunch bell had rung, clearly trying to get away from the self-proclaimed Baku squad and trying to find you, though he'll never admit it. The sounds of screaming and cheering caught his attention. He turned to look out of the many windows in the hallway and found himself surprised. His normally calm partner, you, were currently slamming your fist into a Gen Ed student's face. Bakugou didn't know if the blood on your knuckles were yours or the student's, as his nose was bleeding excessively. Bakugou ran out of the nearest door and into the courtyard, where the fight was currently happening.
Hey! What the fuck are you doing?
Bakugou bellowed. The crowd of students parted like the Red Sea as Bakugou pushed himself to the center. He ran behind you and grabbed under your arms, dragging you away from the unconscious student. You squirmed and kicked around, clearly trying to break free.
Yeah, let me go, Katsuki!
You screamed. The crowd of students started to disperse as they had realized the fight had stopped. Bakugou threw you over his shoulders instead and started walking towards Heights Alliance. You had calmed down by now, realizing that banging your fists on Bakugou's back was going to get you nowhere. Your heavy breathing started to slow down as the metallic smell of blood filled your nostrils. Bakugou must have smelt it as well, but ignored it until the wound on your knees started to drip again.
Wanna tell me why you were beating up some extra?
Bakugou asked, turning his head to glare at the back of yours. The silence between the both of you was suffocating, as Bakugou patiently waited for an answer.
No, dumbass was saying stupid things like how you could have become a hero because of your attitude.
You spoke so softly, Bakugou almost didn't hear you. He stopped walking and set you down in front of him, placing his hands firmly on your shoulders as if he thought you were going to run off and continue to beat the student.
I'm not weak. You don't have to defend against those shitty extras' opinions. Stop getting into fights before Aizawa expels you, dumbass.
He said, although his tone and voice were rough, you could tell he was concerned.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I promise I won't do it again.
You replied, your voice soft, looking into Bakugou's harsh vermilion irises.
Do you think I won though?
You couldn't help but ask. A not-so-sly smirk rested upon your lips.
Hell yeah you did. That fucker's face was bashed in nicely.
Bakugou spoke, tangling his fingers with yours while he pulled you towards the Alliance.
Now come on. Let's get you cleaned up.